Alright lads, this is it. The Belgian Grand Prix, round number 29 of the F1 2014 Career Mode Championship. We're starting from P10, and I know what you're thinking, where the hell is Hungary, the Nagy Grand Prix? Basically, we just had a pretty straightforward race, to be honest, so I'm just going to do a quick recap of that Grand Prix right now. Here we go, starting from P9. We had a wet qualifying session, so that's why we're down the order a little bit. And away we go here in Hungary, just getting off to a pretty terrible start as usual, you know, as I do. We're coming into turn 1, we're trying to contest with Jules Bianchi, Daniel Kvyat and a few others as we go through turn 1 now. And contesting with our teammate there into P7 now, so decent start we had. And for the majority of this Grand Prix, you know, we were just battling, trying to get up through the field, and we got in front of Button and Ricciardo there, up into P4. Hamilton was down into P3, so I was smelling a bit of an opportunity early on in the Grand Prix, but unfortunately the tyre wear was actually really bad at Hungary as well, so that really held me up a bit. And then through the middle stint I went for an undercut strategy, hoping to sort of gain some positions and try and get my race back on track. But unfortunately, Jensen jumped me in the pit stops, and now we're battling with Fernando Alonso. And this is a pretty crucial battle throughout the middle part and end of the race, really. I spent most of the race just battling with Fernando until the next round of pit stops where I put on the prime tyres once again. I was supposed to go on double options, but I had to just switch to double primes because the tyre wear was just so bad, and I was only just hanging on to Alonso, you know, when the tyre wear got really bad at the end of the stints. But like through the middle and the start of the stints, I was actually pretty racy, and I actually stayed with Jensen Button for the majority of the race. He was right in front of me. We were very evenly matched, but the tyre wear was really the deciding factor. We had a bit of a scary moment off the final corner there, just finishing in P6, I think I was. Jensen came home in P5. Rosberg won the race, with Lewis Hamilton only finishing 3 places in front of us in P3. So, you know, not the worst of rounds, to be honest. It was good that Hamilton didn't win, so the points lost to him wasn't too bad. But now, here we are, ready for the Belgian Grand Prix. We can see the Drivers' Championship. We're 6 points behind Lewis Hamilton, so we've got some work to do today in this Grand Prix if we want to take the championship lead. But as always, at Belgium, this is my favourite place on the entire calendar on the first lap, trying to see how many positions we can gain. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be awesome. Wish me luck. So this is it, the Belgian Grand Prix. That's our target. Lewis Hamilton starting from pole position. What can we do from P10? We're going to have to wait and find out. And away we go here in Belgium. Looks like an average start so far. Jensen is going to try and have a look at us as we come into turn 1 now. We're going to try and pick a nice gap and try and squeeze through. Try and gain a few positions here. Ricciardo going slowly. I think that was Nico Rosberg getting off to a very terrible start through turn 1. He's dropped now to P6 or maybe even P7. But now going up our Rouge for the first time. Hamilton leads. Vettel's in front of us as well. We got Alonso in second place. So it's a very interesting grid so far. But now comes the slipstream on this first lap. We can see a few cars already trying to pull some moves here coming into this first middle sector. And now Hamilton has dropped the position to Alonso. He's going very slowly. I think we actually touched his rear tyres there, but we didn't concede any damage there. So that's very lucky. We're now up into P2. So going from 10th all the way to 2nd. And now Hamilton, crucially, is behind us in this Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso does have the lead of the Grand Prix though, but we'll try and make some inroads on him as soon as we can. So This start has been very good so far. We weren't the best in terms of qualifying, that's why we qualified P10. But this race start here has been very promising for us, already looking very good at the moment. But we go over the bouncy castle curbs there, sent us wide, and we've rejoined, and Hamilton was right there. He's lost part of his front wing now, so that's going to result in a lengthy first pit stop for him. But so far, it doesn't look like we have any damage. Very lucky to get away with contact with Lewis Hamilton twice on the first lap. So lap 5 now we can see Vettel is going on the attack, coming into this middle sector now, using the DRS to good effect, but he can't quite get the move done around the outside. We hold P2 for now. Alonso is skipping out a bit of a lead now. Very refreshing to see a Ferrari up in the lead at the moment, setting fastest laps as well. Some 2.5 faster than what I can manage at the moment. So at the moment, looking a little bit vulnerable to Vettel and Hamilton, but crucially, we're sort of stretching away from the back runners of the top 10. So I guess that's one positive. If I can just maintain second place for now until we get to the first round of pit stops, we should stay in front of Hamilton, because he does have that lengthy first pit stop to deal with. That's if he changes his front wing, but most times, often than not, the pit crews always change the front wing for any damage there. So lap 7, we still maintain P2 for now. I think Lewis Hamilton actually lifted off the throttle there, so that's why he didn't really have a run on us at that time. But now lap 8, we can see Hamilton is on the attack once again, just giving him enough room around the outside to try and attempt to pull a move, but he can't quite get that move done on that occasion. Now lap 8, we can see Hamilton this time getting a really nice run on the run through Pouon. He's going to try and hold it around the outside though, and he's got the move done thanks to better tyre wear, better, I guess, tyre condition, and he's used that to very good effect. He's now into P2, and I assume he's going to try and pull a lead as much as he can before the first round of pit stops, just so that when he makes his pit stop, he can rejoin in front of me and not worry about that lengthy first pit stop. So I guess the objective now for Hamilton is just trying to push as much as he can, trying to catch Alonso, and if he could get that lead and possibly win this race, and that would look very promising for his championship aspirations. But now lap 9, we've made a mistake through Pouon, and now Daniel Ricciardo has snapped up the final podium position at the moment. But yeah, lap 9, the tyres are now seemingly starting to go off, so it's starting to cost us a bit of time there as we get a bit of oversteer. But you know, these tyres have done a lot of laps, a lot of like long distance. 9 laps at Spa is like effectively doing like 15 or 16 laps at any other track around the F1 calendar, just because the lap is so long around Spa. But now we're coming in for a new set of tyres. Hamilton setting purple lap times now on dead tyres with half a front wing. That just shows how quick he is in this Grand Prix. He's going to be a serious threat to Alonso. I just really hope that Alonso can be very consistent and try and maintain the lead for the next 34 laps. That's going to be some chase for Hamilton to try and chase him down. And saying that, it's going to be an almighty task for Alonso to keep him behind, considering how much pace Hamilton is showing at the moment. But now lap 11, we're on the back of a few cars who haven't made their first pit stop yet, so this is going to be pretty easy, trying to get past both of these guys. Using 8th gear as well, we're doing 217 miles an hour on the Kemmel Straight. That is absolutely ridiculous, considering in qualifying, like 3 laps of fuel, we weren't even using 8th gear because we didn't need it. We didn't even hit 7th gear on the limiter there, so for us to hit 217 miles an hour, that's probably the fastest we're going to go all season. But now smashing past Nico Hülkenberg, the slipstream on the run to Blanchimont is absolutely outstanding. Just sometimes you can just overtake a car that's literally 7 or 8 tenths up the road just because the slipstream is so powerful. But lap 16, the rain is now coming down. We got warnings from the engineer about lap 10 or lap 11 or something like that. The rain was coming down, and now it's finally here. So this is going to be an interesting strategy here. We went on to the options for the middle stint because I knew with a 70% chance of rain that it was probably going to come down before the options would run out anyway. So it looks like the gamble has worked. Hopefully we should be a little bit close to the leaders now as we get a 3.6 second pit stop there. That is very good from the McLaren engineers there. Normally it's a tenth slower than that, but so far lap 22, we can see the cars in front of us are kind of scattered, but we have a safety car. It's not going to be scattered anymore. We're going to have a chance at trying to attack the leaders in this Grand Prix. Hopefully we can smash through and hang on to it. So we've got a passing rain shower, so soon we're going to go back onto the dry tyres and possibly take that set of dry tyres to the end of the race. But now we're ready for the restart here. We got Ricciardo and a Mercedes in front of him. I think Alonso is still leading this race possibly, but here we go, ready for the restart. Let's just have a listen here. Yeah, I got caught out by the restart there. I was sort of turning and trying to warm up the tyres at the same time, right as we got released, and we had full throttle applied to the car as well. So I lost it pretty quickly, but luckily enough I was able to save it. But it goes without saying I lost about a second or two to Ricciardo there, so that's a bit disappointing. We're now on the back foot already. We can see Nico Rosberg trying to hold around the outside through Pouon. He can't quite get the move done as of yet, and we maintain P4 for the moment. As you can see on the replay, slowing it down, that is just a classic shot of us and Rosberg going side by side through Pouon. Lap 31, you can already see the track is starting to dry out. I was more or less trying to just have a look at the track and just trying to scope out when the best time to pit was, and I sort of got distracted a little bit and missed the first braking point for the first corner, so that's a bit disappointing. It's allowed Rosberg to go back up the inside and into P4, but luckily we've got this long back straight here, and we've actually made contact there with Rosberg in trying to get back past him. Something off of Rosberg's car just absolutely shattered there, but luckily we didn't concede any damage. Rosberg didn't concede damage either. He was right behind us right throughout the rest of this set. Now we're both coming in at the exact same time. I think I'm going to go for a set of options here. There's only 12 laps left in this race. That's about the distance we had to do in the first stint, so you know, fingers crossed as we get a slow pit stop, but we didn't get held up behind Rosberg there. So that's the crucial thing. We didn't lose track position, but we did lose a little bit of time to the leaders. Now lap 34, we can see Rosberg is on the attack once again, but now he's got DRS because the track is now dry, so this is going to make defending just a little bit harder now. So we'll be trying to keep Rosberg behind as much as we can. We actually are catching Ricciardo, who was a few seconds up the road, but at the same time I'm trying to battle with Rosberg, trying to keep him behind, just trying to manage these two different parameters, trying to chase after Ricciardo and trying to keep my track position at the moment. It seems like Rosberg is really only quick in the first sector thanks to the DRS, but because we can keep him behind in the first sector, we can sort of drive normally and just keep Rosberg behind in the middle because there's nothing he can really do to get past. But here on lap 37, looks like Ricciardo has lost a lot of time getting held up by a back marker, and now looks like we're within attacking range of him now. On the run up to Blanchimont, we're going to use the slipstream to good effect. We're burning a lot of fuel. We've actually gone -1 now, and it looks like we might actually pass Ricciardo now around the outside through Blanchimont, and that is us up into the podium positions for the first time since the start of this race. And for the last couple of laps now, I've just been saving fuel, trying to get my fuel window back in check, but in doing that, Ricciardo has sort of stayed with me here. Even though he's been saving fuel, that's mainly why we were catching him in the dying laps. The AI, as always, running a lot of fuel in the middle part of the race and then having to save at the end. But it's the final lap now. We can see Nico Rosberg. He hasn't got any fuel issues at the moment as he tries to hold it around the outside through to Les Combes, but looks like we're going to maintain P3 for now. Lewis Hamilton, out of nowhere, has won this race. Sebastian Vettel finishes in second. Us, though, despite not having any pace at all in the dry, we've come home and got another podium here in Spa.
Third on podium. Well done. Good race.
So Lewis Hamilton has won this race. You remember back to the start of the race, Fernando Alonso, he had a 10-second lead, 15 seconds or something like that. He's not even in the top 10, so I think he might have retired or had some kind of substantial problem. And he's retired from the race. So he was the cause of the safety car retiring from the lead of the Grand Prix. That's gifted Hamilton the win, 18 seconds in the end. And in the driver's standings, that's actually cost us a little bit. I would have actually preferred Alonso to win the race, even though we'd finish off the podium. But that's how it's turned out. Hamilton now leads by 16 points over us. Sebastian Vettel is now up in a third, with Rosberg closing in fourth place. In terms of the constructors, though, it's looking very dire at the moment between us and Mercedes. 64 points separates us from the top of the constructors standing. So that's been the Belgian Grand Prix. We also had the recap of the Hungarian Grand Prix in that as well. So effectively 150% worth of racing all crammed into this 15-minute video. Hope you guys enjoyed. The next race will be in Monza, Italy, and it's also going to be another 100% race. It should be awesome. Once again, one of my better tracks. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Till the next one, guys. I'll see you next time. Now we're coming in for our stop. If you remember last time, we got held up in the massive train, which cost us a points position in the Caterham, and it's happened again. No way. Moneybags Max Chilton is not amused right now. He's going to go beast mode. He's going to not only score points, but he's going to win this race.